Okay, this video will be on the different types of plate boundaries that we have. This is especially important to geology and especially important to earth science as well. So we have our three types: divergent, convergent, and transform. First, we will start with an explanation of divergent. Divergent. Now, for divergent, this is basically between two oceanic plates. Now, the plates move apart, and this results in the upwelling of material from the mantle. This creates the seafloor. Okay. And this also is mainly along the oceanic ridge. Molten rock from the asthenosphere cools and becomes solid, and this creates the new rocks upon the seafloor. So it's important that there are new rocks being created due to this. And this results in what we call seafloor spreading, and the zones are known as spreading centers. The lithosphere becomes elevated, and this creates the oceanic ridges, and the density is constantly increased because of the cool and contractedness, and thickness is age dependent. As age increases, thickness does too of the oceanics. So it's going to be more like this going this way, and this going this way, and this is our line of a plate. So it's pushing this way outward and this way outward, and then the magma is coming from below and shooting out and all that, and that's creating new rocks from below. So that's basically all you need to know for divergent. They basically go the opposite ways and open up, and then new rocks are formed from that, and the seafloor is constantly spreading and being created. But then we have our convergent. Convergent. Now with the convergent. Okay. Because the surface area of the Earth does not appear to increase and does not increase, then the older ridges, they must return to the mantle along these convergent boundaries. Because, well, that has to happen. One slides beneath the other, and the descending plate is called the deep ocean trench when we're dealing with oceanic crust. Now, oceanic crust is consumed, and that becomes a subduction zone. Molten material, which is magma, may rise eventually and induce these volcanic eruptions by feeding magma to the volcano. And we might have continental versus oceanic. The continental is less dense, so it's floating, and the oceanic sinks into the asthenosphere. Or we may have oceanic versus oceanic, where one goes under another, and volcanoes on the ocean floor are created. This is called the volcanic island arc. And we have continental versus continental as well. The production of the Himalayas is an excellent example. So for these, we might have one over here, and this is a side view, and we have something up here, and we have something down here, and one just goes below the other, like that. Maybe this goes up, this magma stuff, and volcanoes could be over here. Volcano. So the magma is down here and such. And this could happen with oceanic versus continental, continental, oceanic, oceanic. With oceanic, you just have to remember that this is the creation of the volcanoes along the seafloor, not on the continent anymore. So for continental, it does though create what we have are volcanoes, and it constantly fuels them. And it just, as you can see, it returns back, turns into the mantle once again. And this whole cycle will repeat But then we get our transform boundary. Now for transform. Plates grind past one another without generating a new lithosphere. So this doesn't generate anything new, the plates just grind. And strain builds over time, and this tension and energy is released, causing an earthquake. The transform boundaries basically cause the earthquakes. Earthquakes like the ones in San Francisco and California. Earthquakes. So let's just say we have one plate. This is our fault line. We have a plate over here, plate over here, and they're going to be grinding against one another. And then eventually they release this way and that way. This gap is created, creates the earthquake. So basically, that is all you need to know about plate boundaries, the divergent, convergent, and transform. And typically, these processes allow the Earth for renewal of new rocks, creation of volcanoes, creation of mountains, mountain building, and creation of earthquakes. So that is basically all on this video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, just ask.